Given how many videos about relationships Anton Daniels makes or is involved in, one could argue he is a dating coach or relationship guru. It's only fitting we ask his wife's perspective on their relationship.
What is it like being married to Anton Daniels? Oh, Jesus. Wow. Times it can be hard and sad and difficult because Anton has a lot of different personalities, and so you have to be a certain type of woman to deal with. Anton is very emotional. He doesn't communicate effectively. I don't think that he has killed anybody before. I think he's capable of it. I've seen him angry before. He's just like a totally different person. When he's angry, he blacks out, and that's just...
Now, let's see how Anton describes his successful 17-year marriage to Shareta Daniels on the Lead Attorney's live stream.
Understand that you're a servant first. It's not about me. It's about everybody else first. It's about my wife. It's about my daughter. It's about my employees. My employees get paid first. The shareholders, all of the board members, right? I have to make sure that I pour into everybody else first because it's not about me. And then I'm the beneficiary as a result of them being the best version of themselves. And so that's the problem that I was having. And one of the reasons why I cammed up with you last time, the lead attorney, because we as men are approaching this wrong. And we trash, man.
What's wrong?
And this is what I was talking about this trash mentality that we spew. And then we wonder why women don't want to follow us. My chick, every single woman around me, you know what they have a conversation about? I was just talking about this on my live stream earlier.
What's the trash?
They focus every single day on how they can protect me first,
while trying to discredit Mr. LeCourier's non-monogamous marriage.
Hey, watch this. Watch how we bring it out of him. I'm first in their mind in every single woman's life that plays a role in my success. Every single one. And you know why? You know why? Because I'm a stand-up dude and I'm not a trash bag. And so I'm just gonna call it like I see it. This dude's behavior, talking about he on Tinder, talking about he can sleep with a chick within 10 minutes, which is cap, straight up.
Well,
trash. He is very much the exact thing that I was talking about on my platform when I said that these dudes are trash. And he is not.
Hold on, Anton. Hold on, Anton.
Trash, bro. You gotta take the trash out, lead attorney. You gotta take the trash out, bro.
I'm a psychologist, nigga. You don't think I can read you? I'm a psychologist, nigga. You don't think I can read right through your phony ass?
Built with my wife by my side. You see what I'm saying? So I was able to do that with her as a helpmate to me. So if I'm just hooking up with a girl that I'm just hooking up with is not the type of woman that I'm going to have in that position. You see what I'm saying? So if
your wife is an employee,
pretty much, yeah, pretty much. You could say it's the same thing as an employee, yes, because she's following my.
So long story short, what you're saying is that she's an employee that you sleep with.
Yeah,
and that you lend out to other guys occasionally.
No, I'm saying that you have to understand that when you're in a relationship, you're leading the woman. You see what I'm saying? So
you're talking to a guy that's been married for 17 years successfully. So right. I understand what marriage means.
So you lead your woman.
But I'm trying to understand how it makes sense.
You really think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
So this is so funny. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be incredibly fun.
Yeah,
so you're saying that you're married, and the only thing that matters as it relates to the marriage is you being able to leverage her in order to become more successful. Is that correct? I just want to make sure that I'm hearing it correctly.
That's the only thing I'm saying, that is part of it. That's part of the situation. You see what I'm saying? Because I could actually say the same thing to you. So I could say, hey, are you just married with her because you want to have sex with her?
No.
Okay, exactly. So there's other
but I can add the context, right? I understand that in order for me to have a daughter, you know, I would want her to be with the man that I am. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I want to be the man that I want my daughter to marry. I also understand that my daughter has a much more successful chance of being successful in so many aspects of her life if she's raised in a good two-parent household that's married. Like there's a lot of factors that go into being married. You know,
yeah,
but I'll also say that I don't sleep outside of my marriage. Yo, this is where he capping, y'all, and I'm gonna hold him accountable. Pay attention to what just happened. Like that's the thing that's very bad in the community that we advocate against. And we complain about all of these chicks that's for the streets. We say these women are unmarried, they unmarried. I also understand that every single body that you leave, right, it changes the dynamic of how she's going to further have a relationship.
That's not
in
true.
The future with her future man. Every single woman that you have sex with, she carries that into her future relationships. She can't unsee it. She can't undo it.
It's fine to disagree on lifestyle choices, but rather than appreciating the honesty and integrity it takes to maintain an open relationship with a wife and a girlfriend while still periodically dating other women, as opposed to being unethical and deciding to cheat, which many in monogamous relationships resort to doing, he wants to call LeCourier trash and condemn him for his own personal lifestyle choices. Honestly, I wouldn't expect much from someone who calls black culture trash.
This black culture that you deem onto us, like the ratchet qualities in particular, are trash when they're possibly learned behaviors that weren't ours to begin with. That's what I'm saying.
Anything. And instead of us trying to observe and try to meld the two cultures to see what it is that we can learn from each other, we're trying to put words in her mouth. Rilla is talking for her. All of this other nonsense, she can speak for herself. And I said what I said. Our culture is still trash, and it hasn't changed. And y'all not saying anything to the contrary. Only thing y'all saying is we shouldn't put it on in front of everybody else. Do they do it in your culture?
While at the same time identifying himself as one of the biggest black content creators on YouTube. You can't have it both ways, my G.
Nobody has more members as a part of their tribe than me.
All right.
Okay. I'm just telling you. It's real.
True.
I mean,
there are white communities out here.
No. I'm talking about as a part of our community.
What does that mean?
As a part of black YouTube specifically.
That's what I just said. You know, that's what I just said. I said you go on to white YouTube and it's content creators that are I mean, the following that they have is amazing.
I would call Anton trash for the following clips I'm about to show y'all, but I'm gonna let Anton call Anton trash.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a side chick.
Yes, it is.
Ain't nothing wrong.
It's so much wrong with being a side chick.
Which is cap. Straight up. Well, that's trash. He is very much the exact thing that I was talking about on my platform when I said that these dudes are trash. And he is not. Hold on, Anton. Hold on, Anton. Trash, bro. You gotta take the trash out, lead attorney. You gotta take the trash out, bro.
What's wrong with being a side chick? You may graduate one day. I'm trying to tell you that everybody got a role to play, and it's a reason why side chicks exist.
Which is cap. Straight up. Well, that's trash. He is very much the exact thing that I was talking about on my platform when I said that these dudes are trash. And he is not. Hold on, Anton. Hold on, Anton. Trash, bro. You gotta take the trash out, lead attorney. You gotta take the trash out, bro.
Will, I got the receipts. I know proof about me.
Will, I got the receipts. I know proof about me.
You know, but I'll also say that I don't sleep outside of my marriage.
Eyes, get set. 5, 6, 7, 8. Why you gotta lie so much? You must wake up and just make up stuff. Cause I just do not understand why. Every time you talk, you tell a quick lie. You and your lies gotta go. Because I'm tired of talking to Pinocchio. Then you had a nerve to look folks in the eyes, knowing that you telling them lies. You been telling them lies. I asked you about this. Did you lie about it? I asked you about that. Did you lie about it? Get them lies together, they all over the place. I bet if Jesus came back, you a lie to his face. Damn, P-No-G-Yo. I guess you wanna see how far your nose can grow. I said P-No-G-Yo. I guess you wanna see how far your nose can grow. No, let's go. Start telling all them lies. Number one, let's go. Cause I don't believe nothing you say at this point. Cause all you do is lie, lie, lie. Lie, lie, lie. Lie, 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 lie.
Now, this is just a little snippet of the many contradictions of Mr. Daniels. Here also is an ex-Patreon member who disclosed how the information behind Anton's Patreon was underwhelming. Now, I still have to be objective, so take the following clip with a grain of salt. Any product and service out there has its fair share of bad reviews, but at least now you get the good, the bad, and the ugly, and won't just think that everything is peaches and roses when it comes to Anton's Patreon. And apologies in advance for the annoying instrumental. The original audio was deleted before I could screen record it.
Kind of like you, if I'm set somewhere and laughed at certain things that Anton has said, and just for people who was talking about the Anton situation, Anton blocked me just by way of association, of course, with Daryl, because people told him, right? It's not a big deal. But also, prior to blocking me, he had already stopped talking to me. And our relationship just became distant because I was a Patreon member and I never could get Patreon information or assistance, as well as or let me just say, on top of the fact that a lot of the information is given in the Patreon, I knew already, and I knew more than. On top of, I'm thinking he's the man with 150 properties, so he can help me in real estate, just to find out that the questions I'm asking, he doesn't know. So from that, it was like, I'm supposed to be loyal, and I'm supposed to be seeming like a person that, oh, Anton, this big person, you know, you see me on his shows, bigging him up, looking crazy that I know right now. Bigging him up, you know, he acting like we super ace boom cool, and I'm thinking that's what we do. Most people have acted like they were closer to me online than they really were, right? So I'm just like, okay, cool, I'll support you. And for me, it was just like, okay, if I'm asking for you to provide me with leadership on one thing, but you're only bringing me YouTube drama or stuff that I really couldn't care less about, it was just like, okay, you got to give me more of what I came here for. So when that happened, and it was like, I canceled my Patreon after the 4th month, so I wasted $40, in my opinion. And then it was like, okay, I didn't get the information, but I didn't get the support there. But I'm expected to not talk to some people. Don't be on these people for real estate information because you have these properties, but you can't answer none of my questions. So I'm not having this or saying this to bash this man or nothing like that, but I'm just saying from my experience, I paid for $40 worth of Patreon and I didn't get $40 worth of information. I got don't use a regular bank. No, you doesn't tell me nothing after that, and amongst other stuff. So at this point, I am a very angry Patreon member. And Anton, if you listening, I want my $40 back because I just heard you sending cash at me.
I am a clown. I am a clown.
Anton's relationship, where I was a Patreon member, once it was like on the show and stuff like that, it was so many times I was supposed to talk about trading, brokerage accounts that you can open, things like that has to do with what I'm actually comfortable and I love to talk about. It turned into, hey, don't talk about that. Just teach me that. Don't teach no one else that. We're not going to talk about that on the show. Okay, we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about, Anton. I don't mind teaching you. Once we get there, I didn't actually teach him, just for the record. But once we, and when I said teach him, I said teach him to trade, on how to flip your money in the market, in trading, whether it's stocks or currency in real time. So
you was teaching him this.
No, I didn't get to teach him. I was supposed to talk about this on his Millionaire Morning Show, in which we never talked about because in the last minute he always switched what we were talking about, and he asked me not to teach anyone because he wanted me to only teach him. So from that, it was like, okay, now I'm supportive of your shows and things like this, but you can't just be calling me about YouTube drama. What else? I really came to you for real estate information because you have these properties, but you can't answer none of my questions. So I'm not having this or saying this to bash this man or nothing like that, but I'm just saying from my experience, I paid for $40 worth of Patreon and I didn't get $40 worth of it.
And this is just part 1. We are just getting started.
Better day, a day where everybody's gonna elevate. So welcome to the party, we gon' celebrate. Don't stay outside, you better join the team. Oti kanga na yema, blessing on blessing jakome. Oti kanga na ganga, blessing on blessing jakome.